Or something a little bit faster paced,
Mhm.
unless I'm on a dance floor or something like
Mhm.
that. Like, it
Mhm.
depends on the moment. Like, to me, that's a song you got to be in the mood, proper mood for. There's some other ones that I go to more. Oh, we got Nate. Marks Payne Real Estate Hotline. Our pal Nate Washington on the line. Nate, what's going on this morning?
Morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
We're doing well. So
Good.
this one you're going to be able to watch Saturday without, having to be in a room by yourself because it's not Steelers Titans, it's Titans Bengals, and somebody that played for the Steelers organization and being around Ramon Foster this year. I'm sure that you're fine watching Cincinnati get the brakes beaten off them if indeed that's what happens.
I have absolutely no problem with that at all. For sure. I definitely don't have a problem sitting there watching the striped cats get beat on. So definitely,
Oh.
I can't wait for my Titans to do what they're supposed to do.
So how do you look at this matchup? The Titans are the number one seed. We ran through this bunch of analytics nonsense in the first hour that the Titans are breaking
Right.
analytics all over the place. The stats hate them, but they're 12 and
Right.
5. And the guy that wrote the piece that's the head of Football Outsiders said it's a mediocre season for him. I'm like, I don't know how it's mediocre if you're 12 and 5. I don't care what the numbers say. So what are you looking at right now with 3 sleeps to go before this game?
Numbers actually don't matter in this situation, as you stated. The analytics definitely don't imply what this Titans team has been able to do this year. It's very reminiscent, if I'm honest, of my '05 year with the Steelers when we went to the Super Bowl. We were the sixth seed, we were the last seed in the playoffs. A lot of people were telling us we weren't supposed to be there. Every single playoff game was on the road. We struggled to get into playoffs. I think we had to win our last 4 to make it into playoffs. So just the whole perception of us, not being adequate enough to be in that moment was always there. And it's kind of similar with the Titans right now. No matter how much they've been through, no matter how much they've accomplished this year, no matter how many tests they've accomplished, they are still nationally questioned because of people really don't know. Watching the Titans game, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have not done. And to see them perform the way that they do with such names that may not be recognized, like a Westbrook Akina, or these guys like Landry coming along and playing such well football this year, I think a lot of people are going to have questions. But at the end of the day, I think it's pretty obvious with Vrabel and this group that they don't care. They're coming to play football. They don't care whether you know their names. They don't care whether you know what they've been able to accomplish this year. They're coming to play football, and they're going to make sure you know it. So that's a good thing about this team. They don't need a lot of recognition. Very blue-collar team that's willing to work through any adversity. And I'm definitely excited to see what they're able to do here in these playoffs because I'm looking forward to them going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the table right now. I think they got some good things going, and they're definitely going to be the underdog on this journey that can do some damage through this playoffs.
Nate, when it comes to that journey, you know what I'm saying, as far as being able to get the Titans get the number one bye. Of course, like you said, I think Jay said this morning, they're saying the AFC Championship game is happening in Arrowhead this weekend.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to respect, we had a listener, bring that up, Nate, as far as the respect of, the Titans. When you played for the Titans also, was it always a factor also as far as like you hearing that? Did it matter to y'all here in Nashville about that? Because I'm sure it was a little bit different in Pittsburgh, or was it not?
Definitely very different. Obviously, when I was playing for the Titans, we were kind of struggling. Let's call it that for those 6 years. We were struggling, man. So it was obvious a lot of people were going to be skeptical on what we were able to do with the Titans when I was playing. But at the same time, now there's Nashville is just a different place. It's a place that only a few people know about. For some people, it's middle of the field, country. They don't know anything about it, what's there. And for other people, it's euphoria. It's a theme park. They know what Nashville brings. They know what Nashville is. They know what Broadway is all about. They know what the music scene is all about. People know about Nashville, but then the football world is like, okay, well, what is Nashville? But at the end of the day, when you look at this team, like, once again, getting away from the analytics, getting away from the big names, even guys like Derrick Henry, in my opinion,
Right.
him not getting the respect that he deserves, for him not to be deemed right now as the number one back in football. I don't care who's hurt. I don't care whose offensive line is going through it. I don't care who has a quarterback that's deemed suitable enough to take the pressure off there. It doesn't matter. Derrick Henry is the number one football running back in the National Football League right now.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's hard to give him that credit because why? He's in Nashville. So once again, for the people that are there, they're home, for the people, the tourists that come in town and come to Nashville for a reason, they understand that Nashville has some great things in them. But nationally in the football world, Nashville just doesn't get the respect that they deserve. As you stated, Ramon, you leave Pittsburgh, and especially at a period of time, playing for Pittsburgh was the epitome. I can go places, and no matter where I was at, people seen and knew I played for the Steelers. They were going to show incredible love. Whether I was in Cali, Las Vegas, it didn't matter. The Steelers were going to be everywhere. But Nashville just doesn't get that recognition. So I'm excited to see what they're able to do this playoffs in order to leave their stamp, going to the Super Bowl, so people will actually start recognizing that the Titans are actually here to play some good football and leave their mark as well.
Nate, as a player, when you have somebody that comes back that's super important to what you do, that's been out for an extended length of time, I don't know how many examples of that you can find, but like if you're a member of the Titans organization and Derrick's coming back, finally, you haven't seen him since the Braves were still trying to win the World Series, and now he's coming back and he's wearing the Titans uniform. How much mentally, what kind of just boost does that give you as a teammate of his to know that he's on the return and he's going to be there for you again?
It's the very first thing that pops in my head. It's like that last scene of the Titanic when Leonardo was on the door and he let go and he just sunk down. It's like right before that happens, a tugboat pulls up and everybody just gets saved. You know what I'm saying? Like it just looks bleak and everything is just wrong. Then all of a sudden this boat just comes up and saves us, that can take us to the promised land. So that's exactly what it is. You hang in there as much as you can without your best player. You do what you can to stay afloat, and you're presented with a pleasant surprise. Here it is, your best player on your team is healthy enough to come back. I remember days of being on rosters with guys like Troy Polamalu or, one of our offensive linemen that I play with, like Michael Roos or, missing a CJ, Chris Johnson, having those key players out that in those moments, you want to go out and you perform well, but obviously, you're handicapped. That you're not going to be able to go be the best version of that offense or defense when you're missing your best player. So obviously, getting Derrick Henry back right now is a lifesaver, man. Obviously they were able to play some good ball, hang in there, but playoff football now is obviously going to change a lot of things, and getting him back is definitely going to boost not only the morale, but the whole scheme of this offense and this team and what they're able to do. They're going to be able to control the time of possession a lot more. They're going to do a lot more things, based off their run game now. And I think, there can't be a guy in that locker room that's not excited about getting Derrick Henry back.
So two guys, one on each team at your position that you know well. What makes A.J. Brown special, and what are you seeing out of Jamar Chase that already makes him look special?
Oh, man, A.J. Brown is, if I'm honest, they're very similar to each other. Very physical guys. Obviously, A.J.'s bigger than Chase, but they're still guys that can catch the ball in traffic and do something with it afterwards. As they call it, yards after catch. So they both do a great job at that. Getting the ball into their hands, whether it's a jet sweep reverse, a shallow route, a deep, post or a go route, a back shoulder fade. It doesn't matter. They're able to make plays and take it to the house. I think that's the most thing that sticks out to me about these two that's very, very similar. Getting the ball into their hands is imperative for both of these offenses because they can take a 5-yard pass 70 yards. Both of them have that capability. Obviously, Chase is very physical, but AJ as well. They're able to do those things. I love Chase's route running ability. I think the schematic scheme of their offense allows him to be all over the place, from the slot to the outside, running posts and goals. But he's also can run a 10-yard sit for you and just get you a first down. So their ability to move him around in their offense is definitely benefiting him and Joe Burrow. I'm excited to see what AJ's able to do here in this, playoff game, because he's going to have to do a lot more. He can't just play on the outside. The play action, shot right over the middle with a hard post that they love to run. He's going to have to do more. And I think he's capable of more. I think his route tree is really just. He's just at the brink of understanding what he's capable of doing in the route tree. But obviously they're going to have to get him the ball and get the ball in his hands. So it's going to be interesting. I think both of them are great with the ball in their hands and what they're able to do after the catch. So I'm excited to see how they're able to compete this weekend.
We're joined by Nate Washington this morning. And Nate, two-time Super Bowl champ that you are, one thing that the Titans have had during the regular season is a little bit of injury. Right now, the Bengals just now are seeing some injuries hit their team in the worst timing. I tell people all the time, on that race to the Super Bowl, there's a lot of things that got to go your way. One, it's got to be the team. Two, you got to win. But secondly, the ball truly does have to fall your way sometimes as far as the little bit of luck goes into it. Can you speak about that and what that journey means? It'll be a phantom play out of nowhere, and I'm sure you've had many of those on those two runs that you had.
Man, no question about it, Mo. I'll say this, it's being ready, having a team full of guys that are ready to play at any given moment is imperative, because like you said, they're starting to experience now injuries, and they have to have guys that are willing to play in that moment. A lot of people don't know, my very first catch in the NFL was in the AFC Championship.
Wow.
So, I came from Tiffin University the year prior at an independent, small Tiffin University in Tiffin, Ohio, playing in front of 200 people, and my very first catch in the NFL in the AFC Championship. That's how it played out to me, because our fourth receiver broke his ankle the very first playoff game. And so that's just how it goes, man. You get guys that are in there that may be young, that may be upcoming, that maybe no one has heard about, and they're going to have to play special teams. They're going to have to make a third down catch that maybe nobody will remember. They're going to have to make a pickup block if he's a running back for that quarterback in the blitz that nobody else may remember as well. And those type of things just constantly happen throughout that journey. You're going to have guys that are superstars that are going to come in and make impactful plays, but then you're going to have guys that are going to have to step in and play some of the most minor roles that you can imagine of, and they may not get any recognition. But in order to win that Super Bowl, as you stated, the ebb and flow of encountering those type of situations are imperative to be able to survive, because they're going to happen. You're going to have guys that are going to be injured. You're going to have guys that are going to be nicked and banged. This is the playoffs, and playing through injury is one of the most common things that you're going to encounter ever. These guys get here, and some of them could barely walk. But I guarantee you, when that coin is flipped and it's time to, put them pads on for game day, they're going to be ready to play, because, as you know, Moan, and as shots in the air, as Joe Thomas knows as well, you don't get many tries to go to the playoffs. So when you have an opportunity, you're going to play through those things. You're going to give everything you have, because you don't know when your opportunity is going to come back around. So, therefore, you're going to get a lot of guys that are playing through injury, a lot of guys that are not going to be able to be 100%. But in this playoff run, in order to get to that Lombardi, you must give everything you can and must seize every opportunity that you can. So definitely going to have to seize every opportunity for this Bengals here if they're going to try to get to the Super Bowl through injuries.
Yeah, we heard that. We heard that. The car just pulled 5 miles an hour past Joe Thomas's house.
I love it, Nate.
Hell
yeah.
So,
all right. So, Nate, who wins the game on Saturday? And how close do you think it is?
Well, here's the thing. If the Titans can stay away from the turnovers, control the time of possession, I'm definitely looking for a clear-cut and decisive win against the Bengals. I know they're explosive on offense. I know what JMart Chase and both Joe Burrow has done, this year. They have had an amazing year. And if I'm honest, the most skeptical thing about this Titans defense from day one has always been the pass defense, the secondary and the pass rush. But watching this team this year, they've been able to get after the quarterback. This secondary with Christian Fulton and what Kevin Byard has been able to do, I'm highly pleasantly surprised. These guys have came along. Christian has gotten healthy. The Jackrabbit is making plays. He's being a reliable veteran. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see Derrick obviously come back. So I'm looking forward to the Titans controlling the time of possession, taking the air out the ball, putting the ball on the ground, keeping Joe Burrow in that high explosive offense off the field. And I'm probably looking at a 24-10, 24-14 ball game with the Titans coming out on top, man. I'm definitely looking at them being physical. I will say that obviously everybody is expecting Joe Burrow and that passing game to come in, but definitely going to have to pay attention and be accountable for a Joe Mixon as well. If he's coming in and he gets rolling, that can definitely be a counterpunch that we may not be expecting. But I'm expecting this defense to be ready to play physical football, full 60-minute football, and coming out and be assigned sound, doing what they must do to contain Joe Burrow and this passing offense, but also still getting after it and making sure that they're physical in the run game. So I'm excited. I think my final answer is going to be 24-14. I guess I'll give them 14, but definitely looking for 24-14 Titans this weekend.
Yeah, there it is.
Good stuff, Nate. We appreciate you making some time, brother. Enjoy the games this weekend. They should all four games should be really good football games.
They should be.
I can't wait. I would definitely have my popcorn ready.
Nate, I love that drive-by on Joe Thomas,
That was
baby.
vicious.
Talking about participation trophies, and he's never even been a participant.
Come on, Mo. You've been watching us. He's been watching us from the crib with his popcorn since he started playing ball.
You know what, Nate?
You know what I'm saying?
He's Hall of Fame and over 10,000 straight snaps, blah, 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 whatever.
Hey, man, listen. Give me my 2 rings better than being the best player on the worst franchise in NFL history.
Man, he's
Nate.
Nate. He's the thinnest kid at fat camp.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He can have that.
Thank you, Nate. That's Nate Washington.
I'm telling you, hey.
AFC North slander is real.
This is real.
People, real personal, man.